Namaste, Deanna with Empowering Empaths. I am here today with our energy update for August 24th through the 30th. We are now in Virgo season. So happy birthday and blessed solar return to all you Virgos. We are now just this side of Leo season. So to me, the heart and the soul, we've been going over things of, what really matters to all of us. And thus far, 2020 has definitely not fell short of surprise twists and turns. So many of us are navigating through this energy and trying to accept change and maneuver through these. So I want to cover this week a few different things about Virgo, first of all, because it is Virgo season. I'm a Virgo myself, so it is about embodying what we've made manifest. So think about what it is throughout this year, what it is that truly you value, and how you want to manifest and embody that in your day-to-day life. And if you're energetically sensitive like myself, you may already be finding, I'm coming to you on Sunday, actually, the 23rd. So tomorrow, which I'm already in the energy of it, I'm feeling this, the Mars square Saturn energy, Mars being our egos, Mars being action. Mars can also come through as anger or warring conflict. And this square is a hard aspect, and it's the first time that it's squaring it exactly tomorrow, Monday the 24th. I'm already feeling it today myself, like I'm wanting to take action, but with this restrictive energy that it's in a square with Saturn in Capricorn, of restriction, of authority, it's very much so coming across as a push-pull within me today, and I'm very energetically sensitive. I am sun sign Earth and also moon sign Earth, and there's a lot of Earth energy right now that's going to be supported with a grand trine, which is a beneficial energy, right? But this Mars square Saturn can have you feeling like you're ready to take action, you're ready to do something different, you're ready to start initiating a new way for yourself. But at the same time, with that restrictive energy in Saturn, this can also be like elders, the older people. This can be government, feeling that restrictive energy with Saturn has got people just push-pull feeling. I know it is with me. I had to go outside and ground before I came on today because I'm just feeling super exhausted today. And a couple of days ago, about 4 days ago now, there was a CME, which is a solar mass ejection that came out from the sun, and it is now in the atmosphere of Earth. And so it can be causing many of us to that solar energy. It can be upgrading us and changing our DNA. It can also be coming through as bodily symptoms of being tired and exhausted. And so I follow the Schumann resonance often, and as you guys know that I already do, I do that if you've been a listener of my channel. And I have not seen a spike in that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it come up. If you tuned in and listened to the energy update last week, I mentioned the energy of fire because Mars is closest to the Earth that it has been in about 10 years, apparently. And that we have a lot of Earth energy right now, too. So earthquakes. And Michigan's a rare place to have an earthquake, but they did have some seismic activity just a couple of days ago too. So it's all just seen as, energy and shifting. And yes, it's very sad to see the fires that are going on right now, but also that fire energy is a transformational energy. And I feel like this Mars energy that we're all feeling coming into this exact square for the first time, and it's going to go back over this same point again and square it again 2 more times because Mars is going to go retrograde in its home sign. And so this one may feel the more strong and powerful as the next 2, but we'll wait and see on that. So for me, to share with you guys energetically, I just feel like I'm not sure which actions I'm supposed to take. And I'm feeling like anything that I want to start, that initiating cardinal energy of Mars, anything that I'm wanting to start, I'm feeling like I'm restricted. And Virgos, it's very important ruling the throat chakra, and embodying what we make manifest, that we speak through communication. Teaching and learning and communicating and writing is so very important with that Virgo energy. Um, and so feeling the restriction, I know for me, and I will bring this up, that the censorship through all of the big tech companies is beyond acceptable. And I did refrain and retracted my energy from Facebook recently. So if you're on my Facebook, I deactivated my Facebook account. You can find me at Virgo Girl 13 on both Twitter for now and Parler for now. But I am noticing that restrictive energy with Twitter as well. They have, obviously, the big tech companies have agendas and are bought out by God knows who, because the restrictive of energy and all of the censorship is, and YouTube does it as well. I know for now I've been watching and holding back what I say on here, but I do believe, because I have refrained and took my energy back away from Facebook because I was so very pissed off. That'll bring up the Mars energy. Pissed off that the person that owns Facebook has these agendas and just puts you through false fact checkers and restricts people from communicating. And for a Virgo, yeah, that's gonna piss me off. And so that's how that's manifesting right now for me as well. What I'm gonna ask everybody to do, and I'm gonna practice what I preach myself. I'm already consciously aware of it, of making sure that you're still staying in your truth. And when there's behavior that's not acceptable, to frickin' speak up and say something. Do not let anybody oppress you, and don't oppress yourself, because this is a huge time as we are shifting through all of this energy. And I don't believe that we'll get much lighter on that until the end of 2020, maybe even past that. So let me slow down. The wheels have been turning significantly for myself as well. I don't know how this is playing out for everybody else, but I wanted to bring that up. The first square, like I said, is happening tomorrow. But I'm already feeling it now. And so what I'm going to do is I reeled my energy back in from Facebook, which is sad actually, because a lot of the connections that I have that are actually authentic are people that don't even live near to me. So at the same time, I feel like I'm grieving that as right now, but it's like, where do we draw a line with people having that oppressive energy, you know? And it also, because it is that Saturn energy of restriction in Capricorn, I feel it like there's been too much power given to these big tech companies, and they haven't been held accountable for that yet. So I've always used it for the benefit of myself, especially going back on, 2 years after being off of it, if not more than that. And making those connections has been super important. And it's also very important if you do have, your Facebook account still, or whichever platform, because they're all doing it. Twitter's just as bad. I'm just ignoring it for now. To make sure that you're only allowing how much is acceptable to you, and keep going inner to what your true values are and your authenticity, and speak up. It is so important to get the truth out there, get your truth out there, to share with other people, because we're in this mass awakening, and there's still so many people that don't want to see it. I'm not saying shove it down their throats or, shame people for not accepting it, but you're sharing the truth. You're still planting a seed. So I drew an animal oracle that I shared on my Twitter and Parlor accounts this morning, and it was the Panther Spirit, Reclaim Your Power. This is about a reminder that you are courageous and that facing the things that we face, the adversity, the change that 2020 has brought, that you have a courage within you. It is asking you to be fierce. It is asking you to speak your truth. It is asking you to have great faith, because you're a very, very courageous being when you get in tune with your spiritual aspect. That's another thing about Virgo season and what you're embodying, what you've made manifest. The opposite sign is Pisces, and Pisces is our spiritual essence, the truth of who we are, our connection to the Creator, that expansive, unlimited energy of Neptune, right? And then the opposite sign being Virgo, embodying that, being courageous, speaking your truth, taking action when you have that great discernment within you to do so, to speak up when you feel in your heart that you need to speak up about something. And so I really thought that was a badass card. Number 44 is, kind of being the master of that courageous energy. And that really, to me, speaks in harmony with the Mars energy right now, too. That spiritual, fiery, initiating energy of being courageous, to start something new, to go on a new path of your passions. And so, like I said, I do feel like I'm grieving those connections that I have, a few of them on my Facebook. But where do I draw the line when I say, I'm getting censored for sharing an idea, my truth? I've been put in Facebook jail for sharing anything from a spiritual teacher's insight Friday nights. It was almost like my account was targeted, to some of the bigger perspectives of what's going on with this whole restrictive energy that we are all witnessing right now. So what I've really found really cool too, a little bit more about the astrology, and then I'll go into some more cards. The Sun and Mercury are both in Virgo, and Mercury is at home in Virgo. So it's super, again, important to communicate, whether it be sharing with others. What are you speaking to yourself? What are you speaking to your body? With Mercury being in the home sign of Virgo, with the Sun there, speaking to your body, listening to your body, getting your intuitive insights. Is your body telling you that you need more rest? Is your body telling you that you need to drink more water? Is a part of your body aching? Look it up. Which chakra is it affiliated with? What emotion in that chakra is it that you're needing to release at this time? We are Virgos, and everybody has Virgo in their chart somewhere. So since it's Virgo season, this is for everybody. It's important to listen to your body. Are you taking good care of your body? Is your body telling you that you need to move more? Which I can find a lot with this Mars energy. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling restrictive energy, if you're feeling like you're holding back something, get your body moving. When your body speaks to you, move it. And that is a beautiful way too, through physical exertion or some sort of physical exercise, to get that body moving, especially if you're feeling any of that anger issue coming up with the Mars energy. That's huge. Like a week ago, I had the Star of David come through to me. So these insights that we're getting and gaining our intuition and getting in tune with more of the gifts that Creator created us all to have, and coming out of this energy of the Pisces age where it was all, people wanting us to put our faith outside of us. Well, now that we're going into this energy of putting faith in ourselves first, and there's no savior mentality outside of you, right? Not the priest that preaches, not the government that is in place right now. And I feel many of us will feel a little bit better once Saturn moves out of Capricorn and moves into Aquarius. And I think that's happening, if not towards the end of this year, beginning of 2021. So something that came through to me, paying attention to the details of your body, paying attention to something, even if it's just a small idea of like, wow, why am I thinking about this? Look into it. See what it means metaphorically and symbolically. I had the Star of David. Why am I thinking about the Star of David? So I started looking into it. Beautiful. So I print the chart out for tomorrow. And look, there's a Star of David in the heavens. There we go. Sorry, I don't want my candle to catch my paper on fire. There's a Star of David in the astrological alignments for the date of Monday. So we got the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and the Ascendant are making a Star of David. I just realized it when I printed out the chart, and so I'm going to look into this and go, whoa. So this is the second time, so that's a synchronicity. Once we get into alignment with our soul, with our evolution of our soul, listening to ourselves first, synchronicities happen over and over, and it's amazing. I'm not ignoring that. No matter how small it is that comes up to you, if you have a feather that drops down in front of you, look into the symbolism of the color of it. If you have a dragonfly land on your finger like I did the other day, I know what it means for me personally, but what is it? What is creation showing you? There's nothing that we should overlook. And so importantly, now that we're in Virgo season, to really listen to the fine detail of your everyday life. Look for the miracles. Look for the blessings. Look for what you're manifesting. And look into it, you know? If you have a part of your body that's just feeling off, look into, like I said, the chakra system. See what emotions that particular chakra represents. Excuse me, that was a loud vehicle that went by. And listen to it and research it. This is no better time than now to do that. So before I go into a few more cards, remember this importance of reclaiming your power, to love fiercely, to speak your truth, and also when you're feeling down and out like I get sometimes, to remember that you are courageous, that you are here at this time for such a bigger purpose than what we just see with our two eyes. And that's how you reclaim your power. I freaking loved it. When I flipped that over, I was just like, ooh, la. So be gentle with yourself. It's okay if you have anger pop up. Deal with it in a healthy way. I know for me, that restrictive energy, it took me 40 years to speak my truth. And so I'm really seeing how this is triggering me being censored so much on Facebook. And I'm not a real big fan of Mark Z anyway, because he's deceptive and he's, you know, whatever, but Google's just as bad. And all big tech companies are right now too as well. And I'm seeing it even on Twitter too, but I'm just kind of waiting to see how long I tolerate that or if something changes. So you know that when Twitter and Facebook are censoring the president himself, we have a major issue. And this control grab that's happening with this whole CV-19 deal is so much bigger than what they are telling us. And if people haven't figured that out by now, it's just insanity. And where it's headed for the dark agenda, and I will say it because it's a fight of dark and light right now, if you ask me. I want to be optimistic and say the light wins anyway, but I tell you what, some days it gets pretty freaking heavy and very, very defeated feeling. So that's why it's important to gain your power, to know that you're sovereign, to know that this world does not define who you are, and just keep building your strong foundation within yourself. I am going to pull first. I already said my prayers, set my intentions. Chakra oracle that we can have highlighted for this week, August 24th through the 30th during Virgo season. Again, remember, listen to your body, guys. Super important now that we're in Virgo season. It's important all the time, but like I said, Virgo is embodying what we've made manifest. So pay attention. Mysticism, crown chakra. Many of you guys are opening up to your gifts. Many of you guys are starting to get in tune with the unseen. Many of you may have been feeling a pressure at the base of your skull when we just had this CME, this solar mass ejection that came into the Earth's atmosphere. I do believe it's doing a lot of upgrading, changing of us. So a lot of you are starting to gain your spiritual psychic abilities. They've always been there, guys. Just remember that. We've been in restrictive energy for thousands of years, and now it's time for us to all reclaim our power and know that it's all within us. Isn't she beautiful? It's seeing that window or door and knowing that there's so much more on the other side of that once we open ourselves up. Once we are able to see through the illusions of this world into the spiritual realms. And I love that with me saying about the Pisces energy being the opposite of Virgo. Pisces is our spiritual, endless, eternal being, the light, and then embodying it. So there's somebody out there that needs to hear this from you. Like I said, pay attention to those simple things that come through to you. The unseen, the esoteric, really getting in tune with that. Great time to do it, because what we're seeing with our two eyes is batshit crazy. So if you get into the mysticism of, whether it be learning astrology like myself, whether it be a new way of meditating, whether it be just you sitting in silence in nature and getting in tune with your heart space, allow those unseen energies to flow through you. There's such a door that can open when we do that. Well, that one wanted to flip out, so I'll stop it. The owl is the wisdom. The owl has vision that can even see in the nighttime. I love that with this being with the mysticism, because the owl has tremendous vision, tremendous eyesight. It has knowledge, it has wisdom, and how you attain that is through the mysticism, through your crown chakra. Many of us are getting activated right now, especially with all this solar activity, the light codes that are coming in, and our ability to sit in this pause that 2020 has forced everybody into, to see it on a higher perspective. Through the darkness, there can be light. Love that. And this one's huge too, the child, that innocence. A lot of us are healing the inner child wounds. Nurturing ourselves, learning to nurture ourselves. And we can cry it out right now too. What is Venus is in Cancer, I do believe. So you could be very emotional. Think about what it is within you. It always goes back to inner child wounds and the programs that were instilled, not intentional. Maybe some were intentional, to get back to the bare basics of who you are, nurturing your inner child. And that way you can heal and you can nurture yourself and you can bring forth that innocence that may or may not have been robbed from you. Not in a victim mentality, but I'm a purity. I'm going to look at things in a mystical way. I'm going to go back to like I was when I was a child and innocent before all the programming. And I'm going to see the magic in everything. And I'm going to remember my divinity. And I'm going to look at things with joy and wonder and curiosity. Pay attention to the moon cycles and how they affect and impact your emotions as well. I know with me being double Earth, meaning my sun and moon are both Earth, I am definitely feeling this Mars square Saturn energy already. Because like I shared with you guys, I didn't speak my truth for the first 44 years. And now that I'm speaking my truth, the Saturn energy of restrictive energy, of authority, which authority to me shouldn't be the big tech companies that have, gave us the beautiful gift of internet, but when the human beings use it in a dark way, meaning shitty control, and not as a gift to the world and creating monopolies, and they start censoring people, there's a fucking agenda. And I'm just kind of a no-nonsense chick anymore and not putting up with it. And maybe that is my fiery Mars energy, and I'm fine with that. So anything else? Again, you can find me at Virgo Girl 13 on Twitter and Parler for now. And there's a few people that I would like to reach out to that I do know that come in and listen to these energy updates, that I would love to exchange phone numbers with you, and I don't know how to do that quite yet. Robin, you are one of them. So I hope this all makes good sense to you. Remember this week, be gentle with yourself with this Mars square Saturn exact tomorrow. Reclaim your energy by being fierce, remembering that you're courageous. Being able to gain that clarity. Many of you are becoming psychic. Many of you are seeing in the unseen that the gifts that it brings there with you. So you're having this opening of understanding. And the beautiful part about this is it can really change your perspective on things. And I say this with great discernment and just because I witnessed it myself. Be open to change your perspective, change your mind, because when you do that, you open yourself up to a whole new world. Do not get so set in your belief systems that when things are presented to you, no, I don't believe that, because you're doing yourself a huge injustice to that. Nurture your inner child this week. Be playful. Cry out if you need to cry out. Like I said, I think Venus is in Cancer, so some of you may be... Let me confirm with that real quick to make sure. Venus is in Cancer, yes. So if you're emotional, don't be hard on yourself. Cry it out. Do whatever you need to do. Make sure you listen to your body, guys. This Virgo season's super important. It is about the body, and it is about speaking your truth. Don't oppress yourself, and don't allow other people to oppress you. I send this to you guys with so much love. Keep seeing through the bullshit. Having that clear vision and wisdom of the owl. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. I think now that I've reeled my energy back in from Facebook, I will try to do, for September, little individual reads for each sign again. So give this a like, thumbs up, give me a comment. I would say share, but it don't really get shared. I usually have one friend share it. That's fine. I'm just going to stop saying that. So like it. Leave me a comment. It's always appreciated. I definitely interact with everybody that does comment. So send you guys so much love and have a great week. Namaste.